Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's get your reaction to top Biden spokesman John Kirby says he agrees warnings about terror attacks inside the U.S. are on the rise, but he won't say if Biden will call a national terror emergency. Why?
You know, we have been getting intel reports on this for quite some time. We've seen the rise on it. I mean, come on, it can't be sustainable. During Trump's 4 years in office, there was only 14 known terrorists apprehended on the southern border. We're at 367 that were known terrorists, not to mention how many hundreds of associates, meaning individuals that were associated to the terrorists that have been apprehended. By the way, apprehended, and a lot of them had been released. We saw this with those 8 from Tajikistan. Why he's not saying what we all know. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because of the porous border that is going on, the illegals that are crossing this that have terrorist ties. It's just a matter of when they strike in our city. And if he was really being serious about trying to protect America, he would absolutely secure the border, and then he would absolutely put all his resources with our alphabet communities to go after these terrorists that they release into the country.
Senator, let's get your reaction to John Kirby. You'll also hear from House Intelligence Ranking Member Representative Jim Hines of Connecticut downplay terror threats inside the U.S. Watch this.
Terrorism warning lights are blinking red again. Do you agree with that assessment?
Certainly, we would absolutely say unequivocally that we've got to keep our eye on the terrorist threat.
That thousands of people are crossing the border unknown each week, and that he says that the United States should consider using national emergency authorities. Is that something the administration is considering? Is he wrong there?
I don't have anything in terms of decision making on what those. I'm not even sure I completely understand what he means by all those authorities.
Those 8 Tajik nationals with ISIS ties suspected were arrested in multiple U.S. cities. They all had come in over the U.S. southern border. The former CIA director, Leon Panetta, told us that this is a 9/11 wake-up call. Is that how you see it from your briefings, or no?
Well, it's certainly true. I mean, people are using a lot of bombastic language, and there's a lot of hyperbolic language out there. As it turns out, we arrested those Tajiks with ties to ISIS, and, you know, we have not had a major terrorist attack in this country in a very, very long time. So that doesn't mean that we let our guards down. Of course not. It's a danger that my Republican friends like to play up, even though in 30 years there has not been a single terrorist fatality engineered by an undocumented alien.
So if it's connected into the border, they're just going to ignore it. Check what he said. 19 hijackers in 9/11 were on visas, but there were 48 terrorists connected to 9/11. A quarter of those were illegal aliens. So just ignore FBI Director Wray, who testified multiple times that foreign terror threats are at a whole other level, citing the border crisis. Just ignore House Intelligence Chair Mike Turner saying we're at the highest level of threats ever for a possible terror attack. What is going on with this Democrat congressman?
Well, first of all, the Democrat congressman is carrying the water for the Democrats. They understand that they're going to own this if it comes out and actually happens under their watch. And by the way, they'll be the first one to blame Republicans if it happens underneath President Trump's watch when he becomes president next year. Now, the unfortunate part is they've created this danger, and they know darn good and well, because they read the same intel reports that we do, that we are literally, what Mike Turner said, we're literally at the highest level we have ever seen since we've been tracking terrorist activities inside the United States, and they have been coming by droves over our southern border. It's because of President Biden's policies on the southern border that's put us in this situation.
You know, Senator, you raise an important point there. I mean, we saw 1,664 terrorists with, illegal aliens with links to terrorism, including those on the watch list, caught at all ports of entry and in between ports of entry. It's a disturbing number. Senator Markwayne Mullin, thank you for joining us.